Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel, whether you're new or you're coming back. Thank you for joining me today, and let's dive right into the reading. I did a Mercury retrograde read yesterday, so check that out. It's coming upon us. It starts, for my time zone, for New York, it starts at about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but please check your time zone for your timing. Whatever it is, by the time we speak tomorrow, is gonna be here. And it's gonna last for 3 weeks, so till April 21st. And yeah, it has its specifics, but I don't want to spend a lot of our time on that today because I did talk about it pretty significantly, substantially in that reading. So check that out. There is a portion that explains like what is it all about, and of course there is a reading itself to show us more guidance and more specifics on how this retrograde is impacting the twin flame journey. All right, today I brought my Whispers of the Ocean deck. Yes, I am really starting to miss the ocean life. It's been a year now, like I can't believe it, but I didn't do much travel after I got back. I did some around North America, but that didn't really include the ocean. I went to Boston, which technically means I was at the ocean, but I guess you can say the same in New York, but sorry, it doesn't count. I'm just gonna say it. This year I do plan to explore some local places, not in the city of course, but like down the coast, for some beach locations for several reasons. Yeah, we'll see how that works out. But basically, yeah, so that's one of my ideas. I might go to Orlando for a few days and explore a couple of beaches in the area. And that's gonna be my ocean plan for the coming months. I will be at the Mediterranean in May, so I'll be again on the road and doing my readings from there. We'll see how that works out. Hopefully I'll actually have more time for it because I am like taking time off my regular responsibilities for the most part, but I also will be busy visiting friends and family and spending quality time together. So who knows, it can work out either way. Either you'll get more content than usual, or it might be a lot less. We'll see what happens. You will be getting my TV show episodes then, so that should be fun. The first one is airing this Friday, 6 p.m. I'm excited, a little nervous, of course, but I hope you guys will be able to tune in. I'll share the links and all the information in the community tab, in the newsletter maybe as well. Maybe I'll send a special one. But yeah, that's that. And and for eclipse season, I just posted a video with messages for each zodiac sign. So make sure you head to my other channel, Mindful Bamboo, and you can find those. I recommend watching at least Sun, Moon, and North Node, your signs, reading for those signs. But yeah, Rising and Venus, of course, are always a good idea. Anything else? And I started uploading readings for April. Yeah, so I posted Aries and Taurus, and I'll definitely carry on today, tomorrow, hoping to get it all out in the next 3 days. All right, let's see what we have for evidence watching. And I've got my shirt from Hawaii because yeah, I'm missing the ocean for sure. Life is better together. Oh, this is adorable. Number 4. Seek assistance from your community. Connect with family, friends, or others who will support you. It can be as simple as making a phone call. This is a nudge for you to connect with someone who you know is always in your corner, is going to be supportive, is not going to judge, is not going to ask too many questions if you don't want to share, you know, but it's just going to hold space for you and support you and share kindness. And sometimes it's like even giving a hug without a lot of storytelling, you know, sometimes that's all we need. All right, for masculines, we have number 28, seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. This is the Hangman energy. Masculines are asked to, I'm getting here, before you get too upset or angry with the situation, which, as we are now stepping into the Mercury retrograde zone, is going to happen more and more often. So it's a very useful skill to master. That's how you develop empathy as well, by the way. And you'll need it more than ever before during Mercury retrograde, for sure. So before you get into the negative side of things, negative emotions, or ready to react negatively in a situation, try to see it from the other person's perspective. Like, put yourself into their shoes, try to see beyond what you know. Like, I don't know, maybe if it's your colleague and you know the professional aspect of it, try to see, to think about that this person may be going through something personally, or maybe you know that, I don't know, they have 3 kids, or they have somebody needs extra attention right now, right? Like, it's this kind of things that it's like, take a different perspective at things, or even in a situation itself, right? See how you would feel if you would be in their shoes, right? And it may be easy to say, oh, I would know better than that, right? But we're all at different phases and stages in our life. We all have different levels of maturity and coping mechanisms. Some are healthier than others, and that also matters. We have different levels of sensitivity to the same events, right? That all matters in how people react, how much it means to them, and things like that. Okay, let's see what we have for the main read with tarot. I brought the Spellcaster's Tarot, which is one of my classics. 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, so twins are really streamlining right now with where their energy goes, what they want their focus to be. And remember that we have a week left till total solar eclipse, which will be new moon in Aries, coincidentally, right? So it's like new moon on steroids, basically, right? But it doesn't remove the need to be very mindful of your intentions, to be going into that eclipse day with a very clear picture of what you're trying to achieve and why. As clear as possible. Yes, the High Priestess. Be the channel of the divine energy, of the divine intent, right? Stay as aligned as possible. Ask good questions. Don't focus on that hustle and bustle in the physical, right? Like somebody trying to distract you while performing a magic trick. Like while you're watching what this hand is doing, this hand is doing something totally different, right? Like, don't get distracted, right? It's part of a test. You can think of it that way, but in a good way, to really have you focused on the right stuff, right? But don't wait till you're exhausted from this. So like you give it up and you're like, oh, the hell was that? I know what I need to focus on. Like, it's your choice to wait until it becomes hard, and that choice is made like naturally because you can go on like that, or you're making it from a wise position of you seeing what is happening and understanding, like, this is the wise choice, so I'm going this way, and not trying to do 5 things at a time. And you should be able to understand which ones are the karmic things that are not in spiritual benefit and not in divine alignment, and which ones are really important and really making a difference, right? Like, we're always, efficiency is like minimizing the effort you spend, maximizing the outcome. And you can, that's the 80-20 rule as well. You can Google that. But essentially trying to achieve as much as possible by, investing not as much. And doesn't mean that it diminishes the quality. It means that you're choosing the areas and the activities where you can make the most impact. So feminines, you have 4 of Pentacles clarified by Ace of Pentacles. To me, this means that you're being very industrious and practical in your choices these days. This is 4, by the way. We had 4 over here as well. You're building the foundation. You want to make sure you get things right. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. It's about putting that foot, one foot in front of the other. We had that yesterday. I think it was the twin flame reading. It might have been something else because I was recording a lot of readings. But anyway, like, that's the essence of it. But like, be very attentive to details when building the foundation for whatever it is. Is it your new home? Is this the new community? Is this a new service you're getting out there? A new contract you're signing with someone? And by the way, especially during Mercury retrograde, you want to read the small print, you want to double check, you want to sleep on it. It is notoriously the time when we can make bad decisions in terms of investments, making big purchases that we don't necessarily need, or rushing into signing some kind of contracts and commitments, right? So be wise and smart here. Wow, masculines have Two of Cups clarified by Justice. So for masculines, things are turning around and they're seeing what the soul connection really means, what the soul contract is. That's what I'm getting, right? They're seeing it through specific karmic situations. And I'm not saying this is necessarily DMDF. If anything, we are much bigger than soul. We are soulmates, we have soul contract, but we're bigger than that. For a lot of masculines, this is, they see in the bigger picture, they see in the new perspective with their karmic situations with other people, where they were supposed to fulfill a certain contract and part ways. And you know, if it's somebody close to you or somebody that's playing a big role in your life, when you're getting into that relationship, you're not thinking that way. Like, okay, so I'm just gonna stay with this person until our soul contract plays out. Like, nobody thinks that. As people, we subconsciously assume that this person is here for the long run. If not forever, then for a very long time, right? And then when the moment comes when the relationship is over, like it's outrun its course, and you just realize that there's nothing to build on, that you don't see eye to eye, like there's no connection really, no glue, no attraction, no whatever it is. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? It's like suddenly like, oh wow, like I always thought this person was so much like me, or we had so much in common, we had such big plans that they're gonna be in my life forever. And now it's almost like it was in a former lifetime. Like I can barely recognize where we are right now as opposed to the plans that we had. And that's also fine. And that's like the whole understanding of how these contracts work. And then if you connected with someone karmic at a certain point in your life because it felt like you matched perfectly, and maybe you did at that time with that energy, vibration, and frequency, it doesn't mean that it has to stay like that forever. It also doesn't mean that you have to stay with that person in a friendship, in a business partnership, in a romantic situation, just because of that history a long time ago, and you both thinking like this is gonna last forever, right? Things change, that's life. Wow, yes, very practical, very specific lesson that's coming in for the masculines. Additional question, Magician, clarified by Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is the name of the game these days. I'm getting this energy all over different readings, right? So how do you manifest in a pragmatic way, right? Knight of Pentacles is here for the long term, right? But they don't rush. They don't want to conquer the world right away, right? Like they have their roadmap. They know what they're sticking out for, right? Like they have that big goal and they are meticulously taking steps towards it. So how can we manifest big and ambitious goals in a practical way? For feminines, we have Page of Pentacles clarified by Six of Swords. Yeah, so similar energy, even smaller, like start small and work out of place of balance and grounding, not in a survival mode, right? It's very hard to build something new when you're in a survival mode. Get yourself to safety first and then build little by little. It doesn't have to be a lot, but you should keep it going. You should keep the process happening. For masculines, we see the Temperance clarified by Seven of Swords. And this is an interesting Seven of Swords. This is an after tarot where this guy is going to get caught. Very important part of that sneaky energy in Seven of Swords. So for masculines, of course, it's always balancing out before making decision and taking action, right? Like you may be naturally falling into your old ways of cutting corners, of maybe like sweet talking someone into doing something, all kinds of manipulations that have worked for you before that you've used in your life, and maybe somebody specifically have taught you that as a rite of passage. Like, yeah, that's how you get the upper hand in life. That's how you have to do it to be on top, right? Like, and even if now you know better, after all the work you've done, you may still be falling into those old ways. So it's important before you make that big decision to ground, to balance, to give it some time, to be patient with yourself. That's that gradual approach, right? Like literally take some time before you decide. Ask your guides, like, is this the right way? Is this the health? Show me the healthy way to get to where I want to get, right? And see if there are alternatives. How are the feminines feeling towards the connection right now? 9 of Pentacles clarified by Queen of Pentacles. I know some readers, they consider this kind of the same energy. This is Court card, this is Minor Arcana, and then Empress is the similar energy in a Major Arcana. So very much a confirmation of each other. The feminine is taking time to focus on self, their goals, their practical aspects of life. I don't know if it makes sense, like health and wellness, the daily routine, taking care of self, the way they present themselves to the world, which is all in touch with and in alignment with the Mercury retrograde in Aries, which I did talk a lot about in my previous reading, so you can check that out. Right? So the feminine is like, okay, I need to focus on my thing, myself, my surrounding, my mission and purpose, what I have laid out for myself. I don't want to get distracted from it. I care about the connection, but I know I have things that I need to take care of, so I'm focusing on that now. Wow, masculine, 10 of Cups, clarified. I mean, you can't make this up. There's always something beautiful here. Masculines, I seen this as the happily ever after. Is something like, when they're playing the end kind of titles in like an animated movie or just a rom-com movie, when it's like, oh, and they lived happily ever after, the end. Like, that's their story, that's the setting that they see, the connection coming together. And they have hope that destiny is on their side, the divine is on their side, whatever they believe in, the higher power. And that will help with move things around and for this to come together. At this point, they don't see how they can manage to make it happen just with their own will and passion and love, right? So they are hopeful that there will be some support from the universe for this to come together. It's one of those, on the one hand, is if it's meant to be, it'll be, kind of giving it to God, surrendering. On the other hand, it's a little bit of I know there are things that I can improve and I can do better, but at this point, I just don't feel like it's gonna be enough. So I need some support from my higher power to make it happen in the physical. So at least they're seeing both sides, they are understanding better what they can do different, how they can contribute in a better way. All those karmic lessons that they're learning are like pieces of the puzzle or bricks in a building that are contributing to them having a more holistic and wholesome picture of what the good and the healthy would look like, what it would look like for them in their reality, and what they want to build, when it's real, when it's like the story of their life, and like, it may not sound like a lot at first in the moment, but all of these cycles, they come together and they help build the right thing. So feminines watching, let them stick with that, let them keep building, keep bringing these pieces of puzzle together, and it will all come together in divine timing. Okay, I hope this was useful for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon.